Starting with the nation. Atiku, Wike, Saraki, others battle for 3,700 delegates. Resignation directive, Amechi, Sylvia, Talon, others to go today. Buhari Malami asked Supreme Court to void Electoral Act Section 84, Subsection 12. What Kanu told me about Southeast killings by Soludo. Nobody has contacted us, says slain Deborah's dad. And SEC limits digital currency offers to 10 billion naira. Hackers can steal your car, NCC warns. 2 headers charged for abduction. Okay, which story are we starting with?
I will start with
Deborah's story.
Deborah's story, just to give us an update. Reporters have spoken to the father of the late Deborah Emmanuel. Her father, Garba Emmanuel, gave his side of the story. He said that she's the second of his 7 children, and that they have put all the money that they have into her education. And because they did that, the other 6 siblings have been unable to go to school. So it has cost them money to have her in school, and now they have to take her body. They said that they collected her body from the police command in Sokoto State, even though they were reluctant to hand it over to them. DSS, after they had signed some documents, gave them her body. They said that it was even tough to get her from Sokoto State to Niger State, where her family lives. He said that it cost him 120,000 naira to do that. He hasn't heard from anyone in government yet. No one has visited them yet. Of course, a lot of people have been talking concerning this. The Northern Governors Forum have condemned the action and asked that justice, those who perpetrated this crime should be prosecuted. Also, the popular Kaduna-based Islamic scholar Sheikh Ahmed Gumi also condemned it. He had really strong words for those who perpetrated this crime. He said that people who do this would not smell heaven or paradise.
Just put in the Quran again.
Yes. So there are so many other people. We have Tekan, that is Tareya Iklisioyin Christian Nigeria, also spoke against the gruesome murder of Deborah. The Catholic Laity Council of Nigeria. So many people expressed their displeasure what happened and commiserated with the family. But I'm hoping on personal level now, the family said they haven't heard from government. I hope that the Sokoto State government can do something, especially towards the education of the other children. It's not full compensation, but something that would help.
All right, so the major headline, Wike, Atiku, Saraki, others are battling for 3,700 delegates' votes. If you recall, right now that we have they're trying to get the president to assent to the Electoral Act Section 84, Subsection 12. Once he signs that, the delegates' number are likely to rise, because there are quite a number of states, I think about 15 of them, that have over 100 delegates. So now these states have become the bride of many of these presidential aspirants, trying to see what they can do to get as many votes as possible. And it's looking very clearly that that these are the key 4 people: Atiku, Wike, Saraki. Those are the key three people that are likely to get the most. And Tambuwa, that was the 4th person. Tambuwa, Saraki, Wike, and Atiku are the 4 main contenders in PDP, and we're trying to see what happens once the president signs this.
Okay, so resignation directive. Today is the D-Day for all those who are vying for offices that are appointees of the federal government and governments across subnationals to resign. So we're looking at 4 people who have already resigned, because the Minister for State for Mines and Steel, Uche Oga, increased their numbers. Mwajuba has resigned, Mogbonaya Ono has resigned, Godswill Akpabio has resigned, and now he made them 4. But Amechi, that's the Minister for Transport, Minister for Women Affairs, Talon, and Minister for State for Petroleum, Silver, are also vying for offices, but they have not resigned. And so today is the last day. Hopefully they would resign at the end of today. Other appointees that have resigned are, the special advisor, the presidential advisor on power, Mr. Ahmed Zakari, who is vying for governorship in Jigawa, his home state. And so all of them were looking at till the end of the day. But additional story quickly, the Attorney General and some other people have taken the issue of Section 84 sub 12 to the Supreme Court now. The Supreme Court decided on locus for the person who initially instituted the case in the High Court and said he didn't have locus, but if they were to look into the substantive issue of whether it is unconstitutional or not, that issue conflicts with the Constitution. And so they are taking that to the Supreme Court for further interpretation today.
Okay, another story?
Yes, I was going to take the story of two kidnappers, two young men, actually. They are headers. The operatives attached to the Police Intelligence Response Team, IRT, arrested Abdulrahman Lolo, is a 20-year-old man, as well as Mohammed Sanni, a 26-year-old man. Both of them allegedly kidnapped a man called Jubrin Saidi in Kaduna State. So they had planned to kidnap a woman that sells fura, to rape her. And they got to her house and found the husband and decided to just kidnap the husband instead. The information, they were supposed to take this couple or the man to Bandoko Forest, where they intended to gang rape her. The village has organized local vigilante to secure the community. They made a distress call to IRT. And when the police arrived, they were able to assist in showing the direction the kidnappers went, and they were able to trace the invaders in their hideout in the forest, caught them, and arrested the perpetrators of the acts. This is a good response from the police in averting what could have been a disaster, and I'm so happy, and I want to acknowledge them for doing a good job.
Let's move now to the Punch. Blasphemy killing. Our children won't attend schools again, says Deborah's parents can to petition US and UN. NDLEA bursts drug cartels, fake employment syndicate. Containers clearing cost jumps by 67%. Vehicle parts prices soar. Amechi telling others may resign today. Lassa fever killed 151 in 17 weeks, says NCDC. 4 arrested as Okada riders burn Lagos engineer over 100 naira. Lagos to demolish 6 more buildings continues crackdown. Nigeria spends 86% of revenue on debt servicing, says and South Africa spends 20%. No agreement with federal government, strike not ending soon, says ASU, SANU, and NASU. And train abduction, negotiations deadlocked, FG seeks foreign assistance. Okay, which story are we starting with?
The Okada born in Nigerian. So this young man, David...
What a narrow story.
Yes, David was his name, simply. They didn't have a surname attached to it. Was performing somewhere on Admiralty Way, Lekki. So the shock of it, that this can happen inside civilization, for me, is worrying. And his friends had boarded Okada and decided an argument with the Okada rider over 100 naira. He responded to one of the friends being beaten, who passed out. And the moment the Okada people just turned on him, beat him till he was weak, put a tire on him on Admiralty Way in Lagos, and set him on fire. Sadly, he passed. But the police have arrested 4 people in relation to this offense, and they are further investigating it in Lagos. They say that they will not condone such criminality of any kind in Lagos, according to that, the police public relation officer, Benjamin Hundeyi. So I'm hoping that, we set the standard of such detriments from here.
Really?
And then Lagos has to do something serious about Okada riders here.
Yeah.
We cannot continue to shy from saying it.
Yeah.
The population of them here is not cannot be accounted for, and the audacity of it.
Yes. Okay.
So yes, NDLEA, of course, in fresh efforts, have arrested a few people who have been trying to export through the international airports illicit drugs. They said over the week they have seized over 200,000 tablets of various pharmaceutical opioids and illicit substances in raids in Abia, Kaduna, Yobe, and Kogi states. A woman at the Lagos airport on May 9th was arrested with 1,000 tablets of tramadol concealed in food items. On Friday, another person called Karim Ibrahim was arrested at the cargo shed of the airport for attempting to export food items, which he had hidden blocks of cannabis. I mean, just so many trucks loaded with drugs that were coming from Lagos and Onitsha and were intercepted in Abia State, and so many others. Good news in Kaduna State, a notorious drug dealer has been arrested or re-arrested because he jumped bail. He's known as Shehu Kabiru, also known as Anzaria. and so many other things was caught with. But now there's also a syndicate, a fake employment syndicate that had been caught. So these people pretend to give Nigerians, employment. You pay them 400,000 naira and they give people this employment. They were caught with NDLEA ID cards, guarantor forms, INEC offer of appointment letter, Nigerian Customs special replacement form and appointment letter, Nigeria Correctional Service replacement form, credentials of some applicants' receipts, passport photos, SIM packs, and so on. So fine, well, we hope that this will mean Nigerians understand that there are people who are out there, you know, just wanting to take your money from you.
Okay, let's go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll continue with the review. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Okay. Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still reviewing Punch. Yes, Dr. had a story in Punch?
Yes, so the follow-up on the train abductors that were abducted since March 28th. If we remember, they have 68 people in captivity, 26 injured. We lost 6 people during that terrible incident. And so far, the government has said, the federal government has said that they are now seeking advice from they are seeking foreign assistance in terms of intelligence because the negotiation has ended in a deadlock. A pregnant lady was released. A pregnant lady had a baby while being abducted, and she's still with them. So the story right now is they've reached out to the US, the UK, the international bigwigs to help on how to go about it. The reason for this is because the kidnappers are not asking for money. They're asking for release of their top officials held by the Nigerian government. And I'm actually wondering what the US would do for us right now. Like, what would they advise us to release, or would they? Because the solution is, it seems like the government has said we don't know what to do again by this move, and our heart just goes out to the entire family of the 68 people still held hostage right now.
Okay, so the Lagos State government, I have another story in Punch. The general manager of the Lagos State Building Control Agency, Architect Bola Oki, said that they have a mandate from the state to identify, remove, and distress non-conforming buildings within the metropolis to forestall needless collapses and tragedies. According to them, they're having serious challenges in removing some of these buildings because people have actually built frontages, you know, in front of like the stores that they used to sell stuff. So it's difficult for them to build. So it's even hard for them to even determine which one is distressed or not because you've built so much activity in front of these buildings. So they've given them a 7-day ultimatum to vacate those places because they're going to come in strong and pull those buildings down. Moving on quickly now to Daily Sun. Tension fears in Borno over alleged fresh blasphemy. Osinbajo Bala Mohammed Saraki woos Southeast Jigawa and Kogi State's delegates. Umahi is still in presidential race, not vying for Senate, says Ebonyi government. Court suspends sharing of derivation funds to oil-producing states. Those fueling ethnic religious war in Southwest would regret it, says Gani Adams. NDLEA seizes over 200,000 tramadol tablets in raids of 4 states. Justice Mary Odili saved my political career, says Wike. And Igbo Elders Council opens up on insecurity and power shift. Okay. So
the High Court sitting in Abuja has altered the sharing of the derivation funds to oil-producing states. That's about a 1 trillion naira due to those states because the Imo State government has brought an action against, the revenue generation, RAMFAC, really. And this, of course, is the Imo State is seeking to assert their own oil-producing status and get their share of this amount. So the court has said, for the interim, let's stall the sharing of that money until the matter is listened to substantively.
Okay, another story in Son?
Yes, Lassa fever. So Lassa fever has killed 151 in 17 weeks. That's from the NCDC. And I don't think we're taking it as seriously as we could because it's largely preventable. Over 723 cases have been managed in the case management centers for Lassa fever disease. 23 states have reported and confirmed cases of this disease. And the NCDC is saying on their website that this is the reports released on Sunday. Another of the challenges, the last time we had a major outbreak like this was in 2016, and we spent a lot of money on COVID. I wish we would pay as much attention to Lassa fever and avoid this 151 deaths we have so far.
So the Are Ono Kankafo, Bobo Yoruba. I don't know. I always sing that song. So Gani Adams has warned those who are fanning the embers of war, saying they are capable of fueling ethnic division and religious war in the country. That he's going to take it very seriously. They say we're in the midst of a full-blown crisis in Nigeria, and unless something is done, we might lead to more complicated anarchy. According to him, he says that they will resist every insidious plans to set the Southwest on fire, but he will state categorically that they will ensure peace and there will be no religious conflict within the Southwest area. So he's just responding and reacting to the happenings that happened in the North earlier, saying that it shouldn't come down to the Southwest because they are ready to resist any such acts. Okay, moving on quickly now to Vanguard. APC governor senators draw battle line over Lawan. Court holds sharing of derivation funds to oil-producing states. Train attack bandits release pregnant woman. 2023, we want Yoruba referendum, not interim government, says group. Lagos motor crisis, NURT orders MC Olomo to vacate office complex. Hackers can now unlock steel vehicles. NCC warns Nigerians. Oshiomhole undergoes APC senatorial screening. Ukraine-Russia war presidential power initiative faces new hurdle. And yeah, that's it. Which other story?
Oh, I have this, yes. The Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC, is warning Nigerians, especially car owners, that hackers now have a way of remotely unlocking your car and stealing it, starting it and stealing it. They named the Honda car in particular and Acura car models. They say these cars are more susceptible to the attack because the way it works is that it has a radio frequency that you can lock and unlock and start your car. And these hackers have a way of intercepting that and then sending it out at the time that they want that it can steal your car. I was reading it to the very end to find out, okay, I have Honda, I have Acura, what am I supposed to do now that you have told me? At the very bottom, they say, however, when affected, only mitigation is to reset your key fob at the dealership. So how do you know when you're affected or not affected? The affected car manufacturer may provide a security mechanism that generates fresh codes for each authentication request. This makes it difficult for any attacker to replay the codes thereafter. So if you suspect that it may have been intercepted, you go to the car dealership to change codes.
Okay, we have very little time left. Let's try to see what we can take in. Nigerian Tribune. Screening APC aspirants face criminal records, certificate scrutiny. Picture here of Governor of Bandoko State visiting Nnamdi Kanu yesterday in Abuja. Nnamdi Kanu unhappy over killings, stay-at-home order in Southeast Soludo. Ekiti nears COVID-19 free status as 70,000 samples returned negative. Return to cabinet uncertainty over fate of Malami and Ngige. How open defecation fuels polymyelitis over on other infection diseases in Nigeria. Hackers can now unlock start vehicle engines via says NCC. I think you talked that story. Okay. Okay,
so Governor of Anambra State visited Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the IPOB leader, in prison, and he said that he met him in high spirits and that they had a quality, frank discussion, and that he expressed his sadness over the killings and the sit-at-homes across the southeast. And he also said that if he had the opportunity, he would gladly, personally broadcast to his followers to maintain peace in the area.
Okay, let's rush quickly now to the points. Let's find a story we've not taken. Some human interest stories here. It says, weekend not ripe to lead Nigeria, says Fabi. Pastor, wife face trial for allegedly swindling church of 1.7 million naira. City Pulse, I beat my wife to reset her brain. Man tells court as wife seeks divorce. And major headline, countdown to 2023, state of the play, Tinubu, Bello, or Oshibajo lead in APC.
Yeah, I
Okay.
took that story. So this mother of 3, her name is Florence Olga, and she's approached the Ebonyi State Family Law Center asking for a divorce. She's been married to her husband, Charles Olga, for 10 years, and she says in the time he's beat her on 17 different occasions, you know, for minor disagreements. He has taken her phone away from her, would not allow her have friends or meet her family, and yet at the slightest provocation, he's beating her up. The man, they asked him, he said, yes, so I beat her because she nags too much and I need to reset her brain. And that if she wants a divorce, she can get the divorce. In fact, even me, I am tired of a woman that is not submissive. There's no woman that can stay in a man's house that is not submissive. And they have asked him, okay, while you're separated, just make sure you pay her 20,000 naira per month and see to the school fees of the children. He thinks he has said something normal. He thinks
it's quite sad. We're still dealing with this matter.
Yes.
Let's
the
go
mindset we're dealing with.
Let's go on a quick break. Maybe come. That's why when Nima said earlier that in Admiralty with the bond, this we're all of us. Just sometimes I just worry. Let's go on a break. When we come back, we'll bring in our first guest of the day. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.